Hello and welcome back to the next video on my productivity series. We're going to leverage the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, why, and we're going to use those 5 W's to launch ourselves back into being those productive individuals who are getting stuff done and making things happen. We're going to just roll right into it now. So the important thing with the 5 W's, we all know what the 5 W's are, but there's an important order that you need to put them in when you're talking about getting back into something. And so not only is it important to understand the 5 W's, why we're leveraging, how we're going to leverage them, but it's also to understand that there's a very important order that these need to be assessed in. So the first one that you want to pay attention to is why. Why am I not being productive right now? Why did I fall off? Why am I not doing things? And why do I want to do things? And you gotta understand there's like 5 different why questions right there. And if you answer those, you understand those, you figure those out, then you're on to the first step. You're done with that first step of getting back into things, getting things done, and coming back from whatever it is that's kept you away. For me, it was a significant loss in the family. For you, it could just be a bout of laziness. It could be you got some problem with your guts. I don't know, maybe your dog ran away and you've been off, you've been unproductive for a while and you're ready to get back in the saddle. You need to identify why. Why have I been away and why do I want to come back? For me, it was obvious, like I said, significant loss in the family. That's why I've been away. Why do I want to come back? Because I'm not done. I still got something to say. I still got something to share, and I'm going to share it with you. So after we figure out why we've been away and why we want to come back, the next most important W out of the 5 W's that we're talking about today is going to be what. So it's going to be, what have I been doing instead of the thing that I'm supposed to be doing? And what was it that kept me away from the things that I'm supposed to be doing? 2 pretty easy questions. They coincide with the why, and you'll find that with all of these. They all kind of mold together and they make sense in their own lovely little way. So what was it that kept me from being productive? It's kind of similar to the why. It was the loss of a family member, a close family member. It's gone. And so that is what happened. What have I been doing instead of the thing that I want to do? I've been playing video games. Marvel Rivals has been my big escape from all of this. I made 2 wonderful new friends on that game and they have helped me tremendously, and we just have all sorts of fun and good times together. And as much as I love my time with Marvel Rivals, as much as I love my time with gaming in general, as much as I love hanging out with the 2 friends that I met on that game, I need to start winding all of that back and getting back into being productive. And that leads us to the third what question, is like, what am I going to do to get back into things? And for me, luckily, it's all kind of lining up. It's pretty simple. What am I going to do? I'm going to go back to my hour of power method. I have a whole video about that and how I divide up my time into very organized hours at a time, segments of time where I'm very productive getting stuff done, and I need to get back into that. So if you haven't checked that out, I suggest that you do so. Great information in that video, but essentially that is my what. What kept me away? Loss in the family. What was I doing instead of being productive? I was playing a lot of video games and it was a good time, met some really great people. What am I gonna do to get back in the saddle? I'm gonna reinstate the stuff that I was doing before I fell off the saddle, and boom, should be productive again. Your third W, and this is the last of the crucially important W's. The last 2 W's are important, but these first 3 W's are really what's gonna set you up for success. And that last W is when. When did I fall off? And when am I going to get back on the bus? And those are the 2 wins that you need to identify. Again, they all come together. They're all doing their own thing. And they're all making this mush pot of, oh, now I understand the full picture of what's going on here. When did I fall off? It was December time when things really started to get bad and rough with the family situation that I was going through. When am I going to get back on the bus? I give myself a 2-week window. I would say when you're identifying when to get back into something, especially something as demanding of your time as this and a creative adventure or whatever it might be that you're getting into, don't ever do it immediately. If you say, oh, my win is tomorrow, like you're setting yourself up for a burnout. Build yourself into it eventually. I would say a week to 2 weeks. I wouldn't go any longer than 2 weeks. Obviously, if you give yourself like a month, then you lean into more procrastination territory. So don't do that. Give yourself, like I said, if you make it too soon, you're going to burn out. You wait too long, you're going to procrastinate. So I'd say a week to 2 weeks is a healthy time for when you're going to jump into it and when you're going to take things back and when you're going to take your life back. And it's different for everybody. Everybody's experiencing their own things that they've fallen out from, and everybody's coming back from their own things that they've fallen out from. But I have found that that is a healthy way to do it. Like, when did I fall off? Acknowledge it. I fell off in December. Darn it, it happened. And then when am I getting back into it? 2 weeks from today. Whatever today is, 2 weeks from today, boom, I'm gonna be ready and I'm gonna get back into it. And that's what I'm doing right here, right now. And I'm hoping that you can do the absolute same thing as well, following these steps that I'm lining out for you. So the fourth W that we are talking about here is going to be where. Where am I going to focus my efforts, and where am I going to pick things back up? Where am I going to get back up on this bus? Because anybody who's out there doing something creative, doing something like this on YouTube or whatever your thing is, we all know that there's significantly like a wild bunch of things that our hands are dealing with and playing with at any given point in time. And so it's not wise to jump back in all of it all at once. Let's identify where, one thing at a time, and then let's build from there. The easiest strategy is obviously going to be which one of these things excites you the most. So when I'm identifying where I'm going to get back, so for example, I have a prominent presence on Instagram, I have a prominent presence here on YouTube, and I have a prominent presence on Amazon as I sell books. I've got a secondary YouTube channel with my animations. When I'm identifying where, I'm like, okay, like I've got 5 different places that I'm doing stuff in. Let's maybe start one place at a time and build up from there. And the first place is going to be the place that I'm most excited about. And for me, that's the animation. And luckily that never really fell off. It just takes so long to do anything with animation that I just kind of built up animation in the midst of everything. And now I can start pulling it out and editing it together and making a cartoon again. And then after I kind of get to a nice healthy place with that, like, okay, where am I going to go now? Probably going to be YouTube. That's the next thing that I'm most excited about. And it's a little bit more work, but we're getting there. We're getting it done. We're knocking stuff out. So, okay, boom. I started with the cartoon. Now I'm going to YouTube. Where am I going to go from here? And you just keep adding up the wheres until eventually you look up and you're like, hey, now I'm just back to where I was before I fell off the bus. And so boom, that's how that kind of stacks up, and you just stack your wares together until you're back to where you were at square one, hopefully doing bigger, better, badder work than what you were doing before you fell off. Because we all got to take breaks. Things happen, life happens, and now we're back at it. We're doing our stuff again. Last but not least, probably the most obvious of the 5 W's, but it's a W and we gotta cover it. That's gonna be who. Who are you? And who is doing all the stuff? Who's getting back on the bus? Who fell off the bus? That's me. I did. I fell off the bus. And now because I've gone through the list of the what, when, where's, and why's, I understand who I am because I reviewed the other 4 W's before the who, and now I can understand who I'm going to be when I come back. And that's the biggest part of who, is who are you going to be when you come back to the thing that you're doing. Because you can come back as essentially the same person you were before you left, or you can come back as a changed individual from the experiences that you experienced. Both of those options are viable. Neither of them are right or wrong. It's a matter of your content, the stuff you create, the stuff that you do, and the image that you want to convey or give off to the world. If you're leaning more into authenticity, then you're probably going to want to be changed just a little bit by the things that you've experienced. If you're a consistent character, if you're like a James Bond in your world and everybody comes to you because they are like guaranteed and they're relying on you to be something, then you probably don't want to change a whole bunch. If people are really relying on that consistency from you, then try and change as little as humanly possible. Obviously, with the magnitude of the events that you're going through, some are small, some are big, and it's different for everybody. But it was big for me, and I'm going to let that change me because I am a human being and I want to present that through my art. I want to present that through my channel, that I am just a person sharing my experiences and trying to help other people. And so through that, I will change. And that is who I will be on this second, third, seventh leg of my YouTube race. And I will be a changed person from the experiences that I've had, both before the fall off on YouTube and during the fall off when that all happened, and now that I'm back. And so that is what you got to identify with the who. Who are you going to be? You're going to be consistent, the same person that you always been? Are you going to be a little changed because we're moving with the flow, we're doing our own thing? And that is the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why. Remember that you want to do why, what, when, where, who. That's the order that you stick to. And when you understand those 5 things, you'll find that you've already gotten back in the saddle, started to do amazing things, and you're just going to keep plummeting it out. And eventually you'll be right back to where you were, and hopefully even skyrocketing into new realms and worlds and awesome things that you're creating and making happen, and people are noticing, and you're just doing stuff. So that's how I leverage the 5 W's to get back in the saddle, get back into productivity after a huge major fall off. I hope this perspective helps you out. I hope you can leverage the same technique to do some awesome, amazing things, because I know you got awesome and amazing things in you that you're out and ready to do. So I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.